Hello, everybody. I'm Aaron Bird, co-founder and CEO at Inflection, and I am super pumped to share with you all the awesome work the team's been doing and everything we released in our new AI suite. As far as an agenda, I'll cover just a couple minutes, like who is Inflection for those of you that don't know. We'll talk about the AI architecture that we've implemented and how we think about some of the design principles. And then 90% of this webinar is going to be a live demo. So you guys can see it in the product, in production, to see kind of all this magical stuff that the team has built. So who's Inflection? Well, we power marketing communication for some of the world's biggest and most forward-thinking B2B brands. How are we different? It's unlike legacy marketing automation that focuses only on a lead database, marching towards MQLs. Inflection is a modern marketing automation living on top of your data warehouse or your CDP, ingesting all of that data so that the marketing team can be focused on the full bow tie or full life cycle. So full life cycle, one-to-one communication, all powered by AI. That's what Inflection does and how we're different. All right, let's dive into some of the details on some of the new stuff we're releasing here with AI. Being able to go from an idea, it could be, I want to drive more pipeline. I want to redo my lead nurturing. I want to make our onboarding campaign much more effective for admins. Starting with a goal, an idea like that, being able to go and execute all the way to campaigns, assets, content, all in a matter of minutes. We're going to see that today here in the demo. When we think about architecture and how we've built it, first off, we've built everything that you're going to see here today, and everything that we build in our agentic stack is all behind our model context protocol server. So it's a mouthful. I know a lot of people aren't familiar with it, and MCP is kind of a new concept that's only been around less than a year right now. But what it really means is that MCP, it's like the REST API of the agentic era. It's how agents talk to agents and how agents talk to other apps. So there's really two schools of thought here. There's closed ecosystems and open ecosystems. And the open ecosystems, like Inflection, are building all of their agentic capabilities so that you can access them from anywhere. So what does that mean? Well, look, this space is moving fast. You may want to operate in ChatGPT. You may want to operate in Claude. You may want to automate agentic workflows through something like Clay or N8N. With the MCP server that we've built, you can do all of that with whatever interface you want. Your agents can interact with Inflection through the MCP. So we're going to see that here today. We have our own agent in our app, but it's not a walled garden. You can also interact with our agentic capabilities from Claude, which we're also going to do, and you're going to be able to see that here today. So the MCP server enables your organization to be able to run agentic workflows however you want, from wherever you want, and have composability in how you're building out your marketing stack. A lot of legacy vendors are trying to lock things down and build walled gardens and say you only have to use their agents. And so I want to highlight that we're taking the open approach, and we're going to demonstrate it by actually doing work both in our agent and also in Claude when we do this demo here today. Another theme we're going to see is the democratization of access to the marketing platform. In most big organizations, marketing ops owns the map or marketing platforms and has a series of requesters, right? So the field marketing team, the rest of marketing is maybe filing tickets or making requests to get things done. This could be as extreme as making a request to the marketing ops team, to go create a campaign, and I have to go talk to a data team to go figure out what's the right data that I'm going to go do. This old way of many teams all communicating via ticketing systems can take days, weeks, months for campaigns to get executed. In the new world with AI, this all comes down to minutes or hours. And we're going to see that today. We're going to see a field marketer be able to just go to Slack, talk to it like a person, and get a whole campaign built without having to interact with a complex marketing platform, think about audiences, or even write HTML complicated content. Being able to democratize access to the marketing platform means that your marketing team can go and create campaigns without a ticketing system, without having to talk to someone in their own time zone. If no one else is awake, that's fine. And they can get things done in minutes. Another key element to our architecture is the context graph. So for those of you that are used to legacy marketing automation with a lead database that has a tiny API and can't store much data, in Inflection, we've taken the opposite approach. So you connect us to your data warehouse, connect us to your CDP, and you can stream all of that data in, literally terabytes. Most of our customers have terabytes of data, and they don't even know how much data they have because we don't even charge them for it. You can bring all of that data into Inflection, and now with our AI suite, we've built a knowledge graph on top of all of that data. It's called the context graph. It understands how you go to market. It understands your product marketing, your positioning. How do you talk to your target personas? It understands contacts and accounts. Where is this account in the life cycle? What are the right things that that account needs to do to move through the life cycle, whether it's a prospect or a customer? What's the next best action for the target persona in that account? All of that is powered by all of the rich data that we ingest into Inflection, and that powers the knowledge graph. Okay, that's great, but why? What's that for? Well, today's LLMs do a great job when you give them enough context. So all of the examples that we all see on LinkedIn, or we go to ChatGPT and we ask it for something and it hallucinates, it's because there wasn't enough context. LLMs are awesome, but without context, they make things up. And so the context graph, we built this explicitly so that when we interact with LLMs, we can make sure that we have all of the rich context that it needs to make good decisions and not hallucinate. So it drives hallucinations down to almost zero. All right, let's dive into a demo. All right, the first one that I'm going to do is, I think, the most flashy and the most exciting. I'm going to come out with that first. We're going to go and we're going to create a campaign from a drawing. All right, so just give me 1 sec to switch. There we go. Okay, so we're going to go into Inflection. We're going to launch our agent. And right before kicking off the webinar, I just drew, you can see this here, all right, a drawing for a workflow for a campaign on a piece of paper. And we're going to take that. Give me a second here, and I will. Oh, hold on. I need to upload the image. All right, let's start a new chat. Upload this image. So this is a photo of paper that I just showed you. Okay, All right, while that's running, I'll walk you through it. So, uh, first step, we're going to send email one. So, um, I have these emails created in Inflection so it can reference them. We're going to send email one. We're going to branch on, are they a target account? Um, if they're not a target account, we're going to send email two. If they are, we're going to branch on the employee account and send email three, four, and five based off of the different employee account segments. All right, so we took a picture of it. We uploaded the picture into Inflection, and it's now going to go create that campaign referencing the email assets that already exist. Now you can do this, obviously, not everything gets written on a piece of paper, but if you're going and let's say you create a mural, right? Or you create a workflow diagram in something like that, you could take a screenshot, you could take a photo, you can upload it, and it's going to figure it out and go create the journey. We find a lot of marketers want to start there, right? Start collaborating in something like Mural, get to a spot where you feel like you've built the right workflow, and then now you want to go implement it, right? And that in every other system, that's a whole new fresh, start from scratch to go recreate everything that you did in that other system. We've even done this with whiteboards where we just take a picture of the whiteboard and we upload it, so you can kind of pick your favorite way of diagramming out a workflow, and then you could send it up. Okay, so it came back. Let's see what we got here. Yep, send email one is target account. If not, send this email. Otherwise, branch on employee account and send those three emails. Okay, awesome. Looks great. Great. Save that in Inflection. And while that's thinking there, we can go back. So it both walked through like a diagram, right, to be able to see, also kind of put it in words, just English description of branching, just to make sure that we got it all right. A really important thing when we think about, oh, awesome, it's already done. A really important thing when we think about building with AI is always a human in the loop as much as possible, right? Particularly in enterprise, we focus on big companies. In the SMB, maybe people are willing to fire and forget, kind of let their marketing get run by AI. Here, we want to move as fast as we can, like this, but then we want to review it. All right, so let's go do that. Let's go review it. We've got webinar test 7. Webinar test 7. Awesome. Okay, let's go look at it. Email 1, branch by target account. If they're a target account, branch by employees. Emails 3, 4, and 5. And then if they're not a target account, send email 2. All right, so there it is. The exact same thing that we just drew. Drew it on a piece of paper, took a picture, uploaded it, and created it. Honestly, pretty awesome. All right, let's jump to, we talked about democratization of creating campaigns. Let's go look at a field marketer being able to just interact with a conversational interface and be able to create a campaign through that. We're going to go into Slack. Give me 1 second to bring it up. Here we go. Okay. All right. All right. I'm a field marketer, and I want to do, actually, we'll just do this webinar. Let's say that I'm the content marketer and I want to do this AI release webinar that you guys are watching right now. So I'm going to send out an email inviting people to it. Okay, so I'm going to come into Slack. I'm going to do campaign intake. Name my campaign. Give it a brief description here. Again, in English. Who do I want to target? Let's just send it to all target accounts, right? This is a big deal. So we want to send it to everybody. All right. Email content. I could leave this blank and it would actually come up with stuff, but let's say I've got an idea here. So I say, hey, yeah, this is who it's going to do, what to expect, and then when the webinar is. All right, we'll give it 1 sec to come back. So again, the use case here is somebody who doesn't typically have access to your map and always has to go through a ticketing system to get campaigns, content created. And honestly, on the other side of this, your marketing ops team or your campaign operations team, right, gets those requests. And like this, creating an email for a webinar is not the most exciting thing that they could do with their time. And so it's an awesome way for them to save time and for the requester to be able to interact directly and just get things done. All right, so it came back and it said, all right, I've created this. Here's the content copy. Awesome. 30,000 contacts is what we've got in our ICP database. All right, what would you like to do next? Let's go ahead and see what the email content looks like. So Inflection looks good. Please create the email content and show me the preview. So right here, no back and forth with people, just being able to interact directly any time of day with the agent. Little eyes telling us it's looking at it, it's paying attention, it's working on it. And what we're going to see here is that we've got a fully formed email that's going to come back that I'm going to be able to preview right here in Slack. While we're waiting for that, couple questions that I'll get ahead of. You might say, "Oh, well, what if the marketer puts in 1,000-word email, or the subject is all in caps?" Well, on the back end, the marketing ops team can set up rules, right? The same checklist that you would normally go through when you're reviewing, content or audiences manually. You can tell the agent, just go check those things for me. Okay. All right, here we go. It came back. So it sends us a link to the preview, so I can open that in the browser, but I can also just look at it right here in Slack. It actually looks pretty good. Save my seat. Okay, maybe I don't love that. I want it to say register now. And then I also want to make sure it's got the right link. So, because I haven't given it the link to the webinar yet. So I'm going to go ahead and give it that and have it update that CTA. You could do anything here, right? I could say, hey, swap out this header image. I could say I want, we could just edit content. But just like you would talk to a designer, right? Or someone who's building emails for you, you can just talk directly to the agent, just in English, ask him for whatever changes it is you want in the content. And like I was mentioning before, there's a whole rule system on the back end that allows the MOPS team to say, what's allowed and what's not allowed. Like, you can't email the whole database. All your emails have to have unsubscribe links, et cetera, all those kinds of things. All right, looks like it updated it. to register now. Okay, that's awesome. Um, let's see. Anything else I want to do? Uh, you know what? I think we're good. Yeah, this is all right. So I can say, please save it. Also, because I'm in Slack, I can collaborate with folks, right? And so this is just like any other Slack thread. So maybe I say, hey, Sushrit, um, take a look at this when you get a chance. Um, any changes, right? And then he can come in and he can interact with the agent too, just like I am. He can say, "Oh, hey, let's swap out the blue button for a red button or whatever it is that they want to, whatever changes that he wants to make." And so all of it is live in Slack for everyone to be able to interact and like review. Okay, awesome. It's been saved. Uh, looks good. The says the audience is also ready. Yeah, let's go ahead and create the campaign. I thought 30,000 seemed right. It's worth inviting everybody. Um, so let's go ahead and create not just the email asset, but also the campaign in Inflection. All right, and while this is coming up, we will switch back, get the Inflection app up so that we can see. Yes. Okay. Let me go bring up journeys. We can go take a look at this campaign right after it comes back and it's all saved. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Let me click on this link. Let's go back to the browser. Let's see here. Okay. Awesome. Audience, target accounts true. Had the exclusion list. So we'll get to that in a sec. A standard exclusion list that we had set up on the back end. And then the AI release. Remember webinar, there's the email. We can come in here, make sure that the asset looks good. So at this point, I'm the campaign operations or MOPS person going and reviewing what was created, by field marketing or the marketing team. And there it is. There's the register now button, kind of everything that we expected. If I go in, we talked a little about the back end and being able to like set rules up. So you can set up templates here so that it uses a template so that your marketing team doesn't have to think about which template to use. And set up audience guidelines, brand guidelines, quality control checklist, et cetera. So this is all, again, those rules on the back end to make sure that you can catch things up front when the requester is actually requesting it. All right, awesome. Like, no better way to democratize access to the marketing platform than just being able to chat in Slack and like get things done. All right, let's think about more kind of on the ideation side. So both of the things that we just did were like implementation. I know what I want to go do. let's take an example of I want to go create a segment, and I want to kind of ideate. I want to have the agent actually do some of the thinking for me and kind of collaborate, right? Um, and what we're going to do is we're going to do this. We're going to do the first one here in the Inflection app. So give me one sec. We're going to switch over. I'm going to switch over to another tenant, to another demo environment. All right. And this one is going to be a customer focused use case. So let's say that um, I want to ideate, like, what are some segments that I could that are creative that I could use to go and look for cross sell opportunities. Okay, um, and this is the case that actually I'll go ahead and I'll kick this off and then I'll explain kind of what we're doing here. This is a really common case around lifecycle marketing or expansions where you don't necessarily know you don't necessarily understand all of your product data as a marketing team, right? And so I know I want to go do something at the business level. In this case, I want to drive a cross sell opportunity, but I don't necessarily know, like, what are all the product events? What's all the product data that I should use to look for signals to actually identify cross sell opportunities? So not only are we going to create a segment here, an inflection, which is a super powerful construct, but we're going to have the agent actually identify the properties for the segment, like and the data. At most big organizations, to go do this, you'd have to go talk to the data team or the product team and say, "Hey, I'm looking for cross sell for this product, and I need to know, like, what signals, what data is out there that I could use to kind of find people who might be a fit or might be have interest in it, right?" So, or you have to go and you kind of have to, like, secret shop your own app, right? And, like, go into your app and take actions and then go and see kind of the product activity, through Amplitude or something, and see kind of what you did and get hints about it. So back to the context graph that I talked about at the beginning, um, the agent knows about all the product activity that you have at your company, and it knows about all of the fields that you have in Inflection and Salesforce and all the marketing activity and the forms and everything, right? And so you can just ask simple questions like, "What product activity should I focus on if I want to go do X, Y, and Z?" And it goes and it mines, thousands, hundreds, thousands, millions of different product event names. And with the eye of understanding your business, to find the ones that are going to be helpful, and in this case, cross selling. So a lot of use cases like this, being able to have it, like, identify opportunities, be able to just understand your data. You could just use it to just go explore, and just say, "Hey, I'm looking for this areas of the product," or, "I'm looking for this kind of data out of our data warehouse." Before I go and create a campaign off of it, I first want to understand it. Okay, came back here, cross sell opportunities. Um, it's got three different options here around highly engaged cross sell prospects, cross sell candidates, and then other. Um, I think this looks good. So, yes, please save this in Inflection. We could have gone back and forth. So if there's something we wanted to change, we could say, "Hey, I want to create, I want to look for something else. I want to look for some other data." Okay, awesome. So let's see, what is this? This is called cross-sell opportunity. Let's go to segments, cross-sell opportunity. Awesome. Here's the definition. So it's the demo org. So We've got some zeros here on the size. Um, but I can go and I can see the definition that was created, cross-sell candidates, highly engaged cross-sell prospects, and then other. If I want, I can come in here and I can see kind of all of this rich, all the rich product data that it used to create this segment, based off of all the different uh, events in the product that are likely to lead to cross-sell. All right. So we've done, we created a campaign from drawing it on a piece of paper. We had a field marketer or a content marketer come in and create a campaign by just talking to an agent in English and previewing emails. We created a segment out of data that we didn't even necessarily understand on our own before we engaged with the agent. And the last one that we're going to do here is actually going to be in Claude. So back to the point that I had earlier, we're going to demonstrate how open our agentic platform is. And you're going to see that everything you could do that we just did in our agent, you could do in Claude or N8N or kind of any other platform that your enterprise chooses, as kind of the place that you guys want to do stuff. So give me a sec here and I will share Claude and we'll do our last demo. And this is similar to the one we just did, but this is about just data exploration, right? So I mentioned this earlier. One of the first things that marketers, are shocked by or kind of realize when they come to Inflection, when most of them come from Marketo, there's not a lot of data in Marketo, and that's one of the big problems. They come to Inflection and there's a ton of data, right? They connect to their data warehouse, to their CDP, and all their enterprise data is now sitting in their marketing system, which is amazing and powerful, but obviously with great power comes great responsibility. And so the next question is like, well, okay, this is awesome, but like I haven't seen all this data before. And so how do I go and understand it, right? How am I going to create business value out of all this data that now I have access to? So a really common use case for our AI is to have it go and look at all the data in the context graph and summarize it. And summarize it in a way that you can create business value out of it. Okay, so this prompt is just go and look at all the events and look at all the fields that are available and kind of categorize them based off of their ability to drive cross-sell, expansion, retention, renewal, etc. Okay. And again, we're doing this in Claude. So you could do this in ChatGPT. You could do this in 8N. I have a strong belief that open and composability when it comes to this new agentic world is super critical. And so this is a demonstration of that, right? It's outside of our app. Let me see here. Give you a little tour. So this is the MCP server that I talked about. These are all the endpoints. I was just making sure that it is connected, and it is. All right, let's try this one more time. Tell you what, if there was gonna, be a part of the demo that didn't work, at least it's not my app. Okay, cool. All right, it's off running. All right, what you can see here, just like our agent, you can see what MCP tools it's calling. So you can get this helps as you get more familiar with the platform to understand, is it going down the right path? Are these the right things it's doing? It's looking for product events. It's looking for the person schema. This is obviously well in line with what we needed to do. It's downloading a ton of data right now, and it's crunching it all from the context graph, right? I asked for an artifact so that it's something that's easily shareable with the team. So this is like a classic data dictionary. And the cool thing is that it's live. right? I mean, you can go, you can just get this at any time, and it's got access to all this data, and it's showing, how you can drive business value. So let's, while this kind of fills out, let's go to the top and kind of explore it, right? So it's awesome. So it first categorized it like I asked. Here's events that could be relevant for expansion campaigns. Uh, you know, Upsell, usage milestone indicates that they're growing their workload. It's This is because there's a knowledge graph, right? It's like it takes this name, and because of the graph, it's understanding, like, what does it actually mean? What does it actually do in the product, right? Um, Without something like this, you just see this name in a list of 10,000 product events and have, very little chance of kind of driving cross sell. Um, Here's some events that are likely going to help with retention. Oh, it's cool. Over here it gave me a summary of the number of events and everything. So um, more cross sell, entry product, security user, right? So pretty powerful. I mean, honestly, this is probably 50 different journeys that you can build out of all of this that are all going to drive revenue and increase retention. Okay, so then it goes on. So these are all product events. It goes on and looks at all the different fields across, like, the account and the person, and talks about how you could use those as well. I can share this with the rest of my team, and that's probably the next thing I would do is go, okay, look, this is great. I'm going to go share it out and brainstorm. You can piece all these things together, right? So now that we have this, okay, great. It gives me these suggestions for campaigns. Awesome. Let's start going down that, right? And we're out of time here, but we could go literally just say, great, expansion campaigns, write campaign briefs for me. Once I have that, just like you saw, just go create the campaign and Inflection. All right. Well, look, I hope you guys are excited about this as I am. I mean, come on, like, literally, right? I Like 2 years ago, if you would have told me that I was just going to draw like a workflow on a piece of paper and it was just going to show up in my map like that, it's crazy. Super excited. It's amazing what the team's working on. We're going 90 miles an hour. So if you were hoping to see something you didn't see today, you're very likely going to see it tomorrow. And we'd love to hear from you if you'd like to learn more about Inflection. And thanks so much for joining. I appreciate it. Bye.